internet. So it's morning time here in Victoria, and I thought today I would share with you my favorite foundation routine using this wonderful foundation that I fairly recently discovered at Sephora. And I've been filming YouTube videos for a while, but I've never found a foundation that I'm so completely confident in, I really adore, and that I know would work on a variety of skin types. My skin is combination oily, and the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation that I'm about to use in this tutorial is just amazing for that, but it's also very smooth and dewy looking, so I think it would be dry skin friendly as well. It is just a really nicely formulated, luxurious feeling, almost moussey textured foundation, but it's not drying like any of the other mousse foundations that I've tried before. So I absolutely adore it, and along with that particular foundation, I'll be showing you what I use to create my sort of daily face that I wear every day and to film videos. So without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. So the first product I use is my Garnier Skin Renew Anti-Circle Roller. This has caffeine in it, but it also has a lovely peach color that really helps to create some awake looking opacity under my eyes, and I put it on in a triangular shape, blending well with my fingers to create a thin layer. You can see I use little patting motions to help it sink in and help the caffeine take effect. Then the next product I use is my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Under Eye Concealer, and I put that on at the sides. You'll see why in a second, because I then use my Lasting Perfection Collection 2000 concealer in a very thin stripe down the sides of my nose. This is a slightly lighter, more opaque concealer, and I blend it right into the Maybelline concealer so they form a single product that really helps to conceal any under eye circles, darkness, and bluey purple tones together. They're both very creamy and silky. The next step is to use a Q-tip to remove any excess of concealer that might build up underneath my eyes and my natural creases. Those are used to smile and everyone has them, but it keeps the concealer looking fresh and non-cakey. After finishing with my concealer, I apply my favorite face primer of all time, which is a Clinique Pore Minimizer Instant Perfector. It really does what it says and instantly makes my face look that much more poreless and flawless, and really helps to control oil throughout the day. I only apply it around my T-zone because that is where I need it for my skin type. From my forehead to my chin. Then after that, I apply the Pièce de Résistance, which is my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour full coverage foundation. In my book, this is a medium coverage foundation that covers really well, helps to control oil, and looks absolutely flawless throughout the day. It looks as good in the evening as it did in the morning, which is quite something, and really blends in well. It leaves that natural look to my skin where you can see the natural tone and texture of my skin through it, but it also helps to really conceal any imperfections or acne scarring. It's probably my favorite foundation that I've ever tried. And I do blend that all over my face. At first I help to blend it in by swiping. The natural heat from my fingers will help it to kind of sink in, and then eventually I start patting in to help it sink in. I always use a little bit more just to blend it right into my neck to avoid that dreaded 80s mask. It's something I have to do because I have such pale skin. Although in the tube the foundation looks more yellow than my skin, once I apply it and blend it, it blends in perfectly. I always go back with just a little bit of concealer to cover up any little acne marks that haven't been completely covered up by the foundation. I'd rather use a more natural looking foundation that helps my skin breathe and look healthy and natural, and then go back with a little more concealer after. Then finally I apply my Urban Decay Mattifying Translucent Powder all over my T-zone to just help set things. It's completely invisible, which I love. Now it's time for a short intermission while I do my eye makeup. You can see the end results here. I've used my current favorite Dior Incognito eyeshadow palette, combined with my adored Kitten eyeshadow, which is a lovely shimmering peach that I used on my inner eye corners. Now I'm reaching for my Anastasia Brow Duo in the color Brunette, combined with a Smashbox stiff brush, and I'm just using that to define my brows, especially the outsides, which tend to be a little bit more sparse. I use mostly the lighter shade in the duo to keep my brows looking as natural as possible. Then I use my Anastasia Brow Gel, also in the color Brunette. It creates lovely golden highlights throughout my brows, which really helps to keep them in place all day without looking stiff. Then I apply a thin layer of my favorite bronzer, which is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Matte Waterproof Bronzer. Along with the foundation, it helps my makeup last all day, summer, winter, or spring. And you can see I apply it with a very light hand because I'm so pale. Less is definitely more for me. I apply it to the undersides of my cheeks to help define them a little more without chiseling too much. Then I apply my favorite blush of the moment. Today I'm using my Pixi No. 2 Rose Radiance with a Sonia Kashuk blush brush. I only apply a little bit to the brush, and then brush from the outside of my cheeks inwards to help avoid any clown face whatsoever. One of my favorite tricks is to use the already dirtied bronzer brush to blend in the blush as much as possible. This will create the ultimate natural looking cheek. And we're done! Thanks so much for watching! See you next time! Bye!